This is Economic Resources, and we're starting with the very first unit of macroeconomics, that is income and spending. So, of course, economics is all about making a model, doing a prediction, and then scrapping the model and moving to the next. And we start with some assumptions, right? So, very first assumption comes from the Keynesian model, that is, prices do not change. This is the first assumption we take for this unit, and we now define aggregate demand. Aggregate demand is basically the total amount of goods demanded in the economy. Okay, so through the equation we say that it is the sum total of consumption, investment, government expenditure, and the net exports. Okay, so in economics we say that aggregate demand is actually dependent upon the level of income. Okay, it's very logical, but here for this diagram, for making some things very clear to you, we're considering that the aggregate demand is not dependent on the level of income just for this diagram, and we'll come to the original theory that of course aggregate demand is equals to the level of income on the very next step. Okay, so for this diagram we say that aggregate demand is not equals to the level of income, and hence you can see that there is a horizontal line which is AD, marked as AD, which is aggregate demand. So in this diagram, on the x-axis we have output, on y-axis we have aggregate demand. And again you can see one line which is marked at the slope of 45 degree, where aggregate demand is equals to the output. So on this line, every point is actually the level of output is equal to the level demanded. Okay, so whatever is produced is actually demanded. This line shows that. And at the level of equilibrium, the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity produced. But you can see on the right and the left side of the equilibrium E that there are some discrepancies that shows that the quantity demanded in the economy is either less than the quantity produced in the economy, or is either higher than the quantity demanded. See, at the left of the point E, we see that the quantity demanded is higher than what the quantity is produced in the economy. And on the right side of the point of equilibrium E, we see that the aggregate demand is less than the aggregate supply or the output produced in the economy.